Alright guys, hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel that is EdTech. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. Let us begin with our today's video. So our today's video is going to be very important because we are going to discuss how you can stay away from the corporate politics and how you can avoid getting into trouble when you are working in the IT industry. So recently this particular incident happened with a friend of mine where he was working on a project which was a off-bid project, meaning that there were no product side like people who were responsible to tell what exactly needs to be done. So basically, let me explain what basically happens in an IT company, right? You get a product requirement, the business analyst refines that requirement from the product side and then creates stories. And that is how you start working in the sprint, right? Now, this is about the agile methodology, right? But there can be waterfall methodology also, which is now not being followed that much in the IT sector, but there are certain projects where this is being followed. And if you are getting stuck in that kind of project, then guys, please hear this story out. So this happened with a friend of mine. Basically what happened, there was a migration that was to be done. Okay, there was one application which was to be migrated from a very legacy code which was in COBOL language, right? And that person was asked to write the script, or I would say all the SQL queries, all the code and everything into Java. And that person was not at all efficient or not at all knowing about COBOL language. And that is where the issue started. So the project manager told him that please use Copilot, GitHub Copilot, use high-end models, right? You can use Opus 4.7, other models also you can use, any model you can use, and you can try to analyze, create a CSA document, okay? Create a document which will contain all the details about that particular application which has to be migrated from COBOL to Java, or I would say to SQL and other things, right? So now that person started it. But what happened, the context that was being provided, the code repositories that was provided, that was not efficient. Okay, still that friend of mine tried to do it at the best, okay, at par best level that he could do. And then he requested the project manager that I need to get it verified from someone who is a COBOL developer, so that all the conditions, all the nitty-gritties, all the complex scenarios, all the corner cases, they are covered in that particular like DS or the documentation, right? So that person got a developer, a COBOL developer who was having like around 3 to 4 years of experience, who was particularly new to this COBOL language and very new to that particular application which was to be migrated. Now, my friend, he thought that I will like the timeline for this is around 6 months to 1 year, right? I have to complete this migration. I'm the only developer who has been assigned this task, and this is a pretty vast application. The vastness of that application, my friend came to know just after 4 to 5 months when he started building that application from scratch, right? That is writing the code from scratch, like basically copying exactly the same features that are present inside that COBOL application. Now, what one thing led to another, and that person asked the manager that, hey, see, there are a lot of questions that I'm having, but I'm not able to understand what exactly is the flow, why it was done like this, why was the database like, what are the triggers that are applied on the database, and all those things, all technical stuff, right? But the manager mentioned that we cannot directly reach out to the product. We cannot ask them for the help because people who are having knowledge on that particular application, that COBOL application, legacy application, some 30 to 40 years back application, it was built and it was still maintained by that client. Okay, so the project manager said that we will take use excessive use of Copilot. We will use everything that is present. We can use all the models. You can do analysis. You can discuss with the architect. The architect might be able to help you, but again, the architect was on some kind of other work, right? So that person was stuck alone in that particular project, and that is the reason my friend was not able to focus on anything, right? But then later on, what happened was that the manager pulled out one particular tech lead from other project and brought in into this particular project, right? And after that, what like happened was the tech lead mentioned that there are a lot of issues with the implemented code, okay, that was implemented in Java or any particular language, and the COBOL script, because that tech lead was having a better understanding about COBOL language and how the things function basically in that project, right? So that is the reason the lead started, like his lead particularly started investigating more on the code side, and they observed that there are a lot of questions that they are having which was not clear from the very beginning. And a friend of mine, like he was asked in the meeting by the delivery manager, by the project manager, that why is this happening, why you are not able to complete it on time, and why was this not highlighted earlier. So he just showed the emails and the messages that he sent to the project manager, like what exactly was happening. I always asked help from the product side because I was not understanding the code that is written, what were the trigger conditions, what were the relationships of different tables with each other and all those things. And that is the reason why I wanted to create this video, that if you are someone who has been assigned to migrate some piece of code, always make sure that you keep the product and the business analyst into the loops. You always discuss each and every detail, have it on the emails, have it in the TDDs, the technical design documentations, high level documentation or low level documentation, whatever your company has. And please make sure that you keep all your leads and your architects into the loop when you're doing so. If you're not doing that, then you might definitely land into trouble, and this is the worst thing that can happen to any one of you, because you have already spent 6 months, 1 year, 2 years building that product. And if there are some like last minute changes which are like architecturally not correct, then that could get you into a lot of trouble. Same thing happened with a friend of mine, again, one who was working at a very big company with a higher package, just with an experience of 2.5 years, right? So he was building an basically like there are certain frameworks, right? So he was building a framework on top of certain programming language, and same thing happened with him also. He was working along with the architect, right? And he was not knowing that the architect was on basically like serving the notice period, and the notice period was around 90 days, but the architect already put down the papers, then took it back for 2 months, and then again put down the papers, and then again served for 3 months. They were not having this rule of like you cannot put down papers if you take it back, something like that, for 6 months or 1 year. They were not having that rule. Architect put down the papers after 2 months, like 2 3 months passed away, then again put down the papers. Okay, so all these things happened, and within that 6 months my friend was working all alone with the architect, right, on that particular thing, on that particular framework that was to be built for a particular client from Japan, right? So this thing, one thing again led to another, and at the end the architect left the company, and my friend was stuck with that particular project, and he was pressurized by the senior project manager that you have to complete it, you have to find it. He was on calls 24/7 with the product team, with everyone from the Japan side. He was waking up around 3 4 in the morning, and he was having calls with all of them, all of the developers. And finally the project was taken off by that particular client from this particular service based company. So this is the reason why. And what again happened was the HR mentioned that you are not performing well, because of you the project is gone, and that is the reason we are putting you in PIP. And the only thing that happens after PIP in the most of the companies, if you are in working in the service based company, that is your resignation. They simply ask you to share the screen. The HR asks you to write a like termination, or I would say a resignation email, and then they accept the resignation then and there, and they don't give you any kind of settlement, and they release you on that particular day. And this is the reason why I wanted to create this video, because you should know what is exactly happening in the IT industry and how you can avoid this kind of politics that is played by the project manager, wherein they are playing safe and you are in trouble. And guys, please make sure that you don't get stuck into any kind of these positions. With this, I would like to end today's video. If you feel that this video was helpful, it was informative for all of you guys, then please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, because I've seen a lot of people who are watching our videos, they are liking our videos, but they are not subscribing. So guys, please consider subscribing and share this video with all of your friends who are working in the IT industry, so they are also aware about the things that is happening. Thank you and have a great day.